Hello, Posh Fam. Yes, we are back to yet another brand new episode of Married at First Sight. Now, before we get into the talking points for tonight, first things first though, thank you so much to 3 new subbies who just joined the Posh family. Honestly, I am keeping score. Now, when you are that small, you're following the numbers, and I am doing exactly just that. So, to my new Posh Fam subbies, thank you for coming on board the Posh train. I do appreciate your support, and as you stay on the course with us, please don't forget to like and comment, as well as share this channel with your friends. To my existing Posh Fam guys, thank you so much, because without you, we probably won't be getting the new subbies coming on board. There's something called heads mentality here. So when they see that there's like numbers going up, people will be like, yeah, maybe there's something there that I want to check out and see. And so thank you so much for staying on the course and putting up with my shenanigans here. I do appreciate the show of support, guys. So please keep the comments and the likes going. And let's just get into the talking point of Married at First Sight, episode 25. The couples, they're like falling down like flies. And so there's a little bit more momentum going as we get into the swing of things, or straight to the pointy end of things with season 10 of Married at First Sight Australia. And so I will just focus on the talking points so that we just maximize our time, and I just get you informed as with the event that was the commitment ceremony tonight. So this is the penultimate commitment ceremony, which means we'll probably have one more commitment ceremony to go before the reunion, which I am looking forward to. Now, we see the couples getting ready for this particular commitment ceremony. Now, you would know things heated up at the couples retreat, and then there was a flow-on effect onto the dinner party where we saw Bronte's and Harrison's relationship crumble. And it didn't only crumble by itself, because Harrison took a few fellow members along with him. And so the fallout from that episode is the emotional, gut-wrenching commitment ceremony that's going to be that happened tonight. And I said gut-wrenching and emotional because we saw our favorite couple just leave us tonight, and that is Jessie and Claire. We're going to get into their conversation on the hot seat. But I want to address Alyssa and Duncan. Now, we see these two getting ready for the commitment ceremony, right? And they seem like they have come back and figured things out, because we know where they were at during the couples retreat. Pretty much, Alyssa wanted attention. She was crying for attention. They got back from the couples retreat. It felt like before the dinner party, all was well in the good. She had a cigarette. She was smoked up. She felt good, and they were in a good space. They were able to talk things through and now seeing eye to eye. So I felt, okay, there can't be anything going wrong. No, pretty much a lot went wrong on the hot seat tonight, and we're going to get into that shortly. Now, we are in the hot room. I always call it the hot room because that's where everything gets said with the experts. And so the experts are sitting down waiting on the couples to come in, and we see the men, as usual, walk through, and the females joining the gang, and they are all seated, and away we go with the hot seat. First on the hot seat tonight is none other than Duncan and Alyssa. There's no surprise here. Now, for the surprise though, was the fact that they are still not in a good place. I'm not confused, and I don't want you to be confused, but I don't know if these two are acting. It doesn't look like they're acting, but I can tell you that from my unprofessional opinion, Alyssa needs more than therapy right now. She has unraveled to the point where she needs help, and she needs help really quick. I feel, calling it, that she is emotionally unstable. Emotionally unstable. Now, I'm not saying that Duncan is the perfect guy, because, yeah, he is, in theory, on paper, this guy is the perfect guy. He has got the emotional intelligence for days. He's got the Fabio looks coming. He's got the career going. He is young, he's impressionable, he's kind, he appears kind. And so I've asked this question. Why is this guy on the show? Why is he single? If he possesses all these qualities, why is he still single? So I probably would not know. But the matchup with Alyssa seemed good on paper. Seemed fantastic. They were getting on great. They couldn't, the hands off each other was just no question. They couldn't separate for a minute. All of a sudden, there was a massive breakdown in, I feel, communication, and it has just unraveled for these two. The conversation started on with them trying to address what happened on the couples retreat. And before you know it, Alyssa busted out in tears and walked off. Duncan, confused, not knowing what to do, chased after her, quite literally. And which has always been the theme in the last couple of episodes. He would go after her, trying to offer his support or show of support by comforting her. And he gets rejected. And he's like, okay, what do you want me to do to make it better for you? And she turns him down, turns him off. It's like there's nothing he can do. He keeps trying. She is not letting him at all come through. And it's becoming, like, for me, exhausting. He then walks back because she decided she wanted to leave. He walks back into the experiment confused. The expert are asking him, where is Alyssa? And he said she's gone home according to what Alyssa told him. And so they were trying to find out from him how he feels. And rightly so, dude said, I am walking on eggshells in this relationship. I cannot express myself. I cannot even offer comfort to her because when she wants it, apparently I need to be in her head to know when she needs comfort. But then she's telling me, I need attention, I need attention, I need attention. She screams it out of the roof and I offer her attention. I've gone out of my way to make it right with her. She shuts me off, tells me don't talk to me in the next 48 hours. So that tells me that this girl is emotionally unstable. She doesn't really need a man. She needs help. She needs clinical help, and she should get that clinical help because guess what? She's going to continuously sabotage every other relationship that she gets into after this show. That is if she and Duncan stay together. I don't see it happening. It doesn't look like it because it doesn't. While Duncan was trying to somehow find the way to express himself, Alyssa walks back in, sits down, and continues on the trajectory of where she was going to, which is nowhere exactly. Because she didn't have a point. She didn't have a point for why they were fighting. There wasn't any solid reason as to why we are not talking, as to why you guys are having a relationship breakdown. There was, from my point of view, all I heard was, I need attention. And again, I've got kids. So she is projecting her insecurities or however she's feeling upon Duncan. And Duncan is like, okay, I can see that you are hot. I can see that you want me to do better. But I don't know how much better you want me to do. Maybe I should just probably kill myself and give you all my blood. That way, it makes it okay. Because I refuse to be confused. And it seemed as if the experts didn't even know how to offer this guy's advice because they are not seeing exactly what she can't even express. At the end of the night, however, the decision for these two was to stay on because they need more help. You and me both, guys. You and me both. Why, having taken us through this emotional roller coaster, you are both deciding to stay on? Whatever. It is what it is. Next up, for some joy, guys, Ollie and Tahnee. Now, these two, I'm going to be very brief with them. They are happy. They are happy. They are forging on great. They are traveling fantastic. You know, everything is smooth sailing. They are having a conversation that should be had. And that is talking about moving because they both live interstate. And Ollie, for some reason, has taken on the challenge that he is agreeing to move to be with Ollie. And spoiler alert, I can confirm that post-production, these two are still together, with Ollie, in fact, moving to join Tahnee in her state. And they've moved in together. So, one success story out of the bunch. And thank God for that. And so it is no surprise that the decision for tonight is that they are both going to stay on course and continue on this beautiful story that they are telling us. And so happy for this too. Next up is Cameron and Lyndall. Now, we saw what happened at the couples retreat, and that was Cameron and Taylor flirting. However, according to Lyndall, all is well in the hood. And who am I to point fingers? Lyndall has said it. All is well in the hood. They are going on great. She was able to see him in his element. Apparently, he was constricted whilst in the sky apartments and towers, and he has not been able to express himself. That they were able to forge down to the countryside into the retreat. He was able to be the bird that he is, and he's been his wings has been unclipped and he's been flying everywhere. And so Lyndall is happy in their relationship or in their situationship. The conversation about feelings came up from the experts to them, and Cameron is saying, well, I am, having the feels, but the most important issue that they have now is the fact that they both live two separate lives. Like, he lives in the bush, she lives, in the city side, and so who is going to be moving and who will be making that massive adventure seeking move is going to be a conversation that they need to have. And rightly so, they haven't tapped into that part of their relationship yet, or they haven't talked about that part of the conversation or that part yet, and they are looking at having that conversation with regards to who moves for who and who moves to join who and who's comfortable with moving. So surprisingly, from I was surprised that the things were good here. They are both staying on the experiment to see how they progress and maybe have the conversation about moving and joining whoever is going to be moving with who. I don't really know, but Lyndall and Cameron are happy this week and they are staying on. So good for them. Next up, I needed to take some air in here, is Bronte and Harrison. Now, I'm not sure my dinner party video has uploaded because it was a really long one, but I hope it upload before I upload, before you get to see this one. Otherwise, it would just be me, you won't probably follow, but I'm pretty sure you will follow it anyway. The dinner party, we saw them breaking up. Pretty much, Harrison broke up with Bronte via text message, and the ripple effect of that saw Harrison deflecting and attacking other people's relationship. Okay? Now, I was thinking that Bronte is in a clear-headed space of mind with the decision firmly made, and that will be to leave tonight, right? Yeah, nah. It did not happen. These two were so cozied up on the couch that I'm like, what is going on here? Didn't I watch these guys less than 24 hours ago saying that they were done with each other and now they are happy together? Apparently, Harrison is happy at the fact that Bronte has proved herself to him, whatever that means. Because we did know that he was worried about trust, consistency, and I really don't know what this guy wants. He wants everything at this point. Maybe the trust factor and the consistency has now been restored for him by Bronte, because Bronte is literally a slave driver. That chick is working so hard, yet earning minimum wage for all her efforts. Now they are on the couch, and just as we're confused, the experts are also confused. Like, what is going on here? Last night, you guys were done. Now we can see that something has changed. To which Harrison is like, yeah, something has changed. We have talked it through, and Bronte has apologized. She literally knelt down to apologize and beg me to take her back. Yeah, that is pretty much, or in a nutshell, what I could read from Harrison. Though he didn't say this specifically, but this is my take on the night, or on their conversation in the hot seat. Bronte pretty much has the rose color glasses on. She is drunk. She's literally overdosed on Harrison's Kool-Aid. Like, there is so much that she's not even seeing, and she is not willing to see. She is neck deep down Harrison's where the sun doesn't shine. She's literally there just having the snooze of her life. She has now, gained an epitome, and she's happy to continue on the experiment with Harrison. In fact, Harrison is the love of her life, and they have figured out all that was amiss in their relationship. Apparently, Melinda and Claire were the instigators for her, or for their breakdown in communication and in trust. So there wasn't anything that Harrison did that was the problem. It was basically the external factor in form of Melinda and Claire who got into her head, and they spun all those webs of insecurity and doubt. And so she made the decision she wanted to go home, and now she's so sorry. She said that, having to break Harrison's trust, and now she's seen the light. I don't know if she has, but she's seen the light, and they are all is well and good in Casa, Harrison, and Bronte. I really didn't want to go any further with this commentary regarding these two. But the experts kept on pushing, kept trying to figure out what's wrong with Bronte, kept trying to get her to see that there's something not exactly right. The expert didn't exactly call the situation for what it was. They tipped around it. But I guess their hands are also tied, because it all falls down to production detecting what was seen. They pretty much asked her, do you think you're being emotionally manipulated? She's like, no, I'm not. I'm good. And the decision between these two, which is not surprising, is that they're going to stay for one more week, because they figured it out. Yeah, that's it for me with this. Now, next up on the hot seat is Evelyn and Rupert. I will be so brief here. There's really not much happening with these two. They seem to be going on at a pace that suits the both of them. They are both happy with each other, and all is great in Casa, Rupert and Evelyn. They have decided to stay on the experiment. For what reason, I do not know, but yeah, they're staying on. Next up on the couch is Melinda and Layton. Now, Melinda and Layton seem to have had the perfect week this week. And that was, they went through trials and tribulation in the form of Harrison and Bronte, okay, at the couples retreat. And they were able to survive. That relationship was really put to the test. When you have a force like Harrison embedded in your ears, or somehow in your ears and in your head, it does affect. That they were able to overcome this leech that is Harrison was amazing, and sort of good for the relationship between them, because we know they've always had the communication as an issue from the get-go. And the fact that they were able to address the whole situation that led up to the altercation between Bronte and Harrison, as well as the conversation eavesdropping by Melinda, was just amazing. And so tonight on the hot seat, they had to rehash those events and, praised each other, because I think that's the one thing, complimented each other's efforts and what each other did during the course of the couples retreat and up to the dinner party. And even the experts agreed that, yes, they have found a new level of understanding in their relationship. They still have a little bit of work to do, which is feelings. I think Layton is, still holding on to his feelings. He's still sort of not expressing a lot of feelings. He's very businesslike about his emotions. And the experts do want to see a turnaround for Layton and in expressing himself to Melinda. And so I was not surprised when they decided to stay on and obviously give the relationship a red hot crack and implementing all that, the experts had to say for them. And yeah, the conversation also came up leading up to the dinner party about Harrison. The expert wanted to know a little bit more, or they wanted to get their opinion, which they did give. Well, I felt like we shouldn't rehash this anymore. It's done. Let's move on. And up to the next couple, the final couple of the night, which is Jessie and Claire. Now, it was such an emotional night for me. It was really disappointing to see how meddlers can really, really, really mar your relationship. And that's exactly what has happened here. These two actually are leaving the show tonight. And when it got down to the bottom of it, Jessie felt that Harrison's comment, or Harrison's comment, and the fact that Harrison got to his head is the reason he's leaving the show tonight. Now, we all know that Jesse's a sort of very insecure, emotional guy. And the fact that he's also had the cheating, the relationship breakdown in form of his partner cheating on him with another partner hasn't really helped his self-esteem. It hasn't. And so we're not surprised to see that when somebody says something that should have not affected him the way it did, ended up affecting him, and to the point where he's like exhausted, emotionally exhausted, mentally exhausted, physically exhausted, and pretty much just wants out. And that's exactly what it came down to tonight. He said he's had a few doubts. Yes, Claire has tried to, make him feel better, but he still feels that Claire staying on was pretty much from a selfish place or selfish point, where she, in the sense that she wants to repair her image and less about the relationship. Now, I can't really say for sure that I know what Claire was and is thinking. Yeah, you wanting to repair your image should be a part of it. But I would think the central point for Claire was trying to make it right with Jessie. Now, these two guys have been acting all season long. So I really don't know what to think. I don't even know what exactly is going on between these two. Or, but what was clear was the fact that Harrison knew something or had an ammunition in his hands and used it to his advantage to create discord. And yes, the weakest link fell. And the weakest link happened to be Jessie. He fell on his sword. He fell really hard. And he was like, I want to go. And so when the decision was revealed to leave, wasn't a surprise. Claire, on the other hand, continuously expressed her remorse and how she has, wanted to repair the relationship. How she felt they were progressing and how they had made plans for the week to come, only for the event of the dinner party to crush everything. I felt for her. She really spoke from the heart, apologized once again to Jessie, and ended up writing leave because from her point of view, she doesn't want him staying any longer than he should. And she doesn't want to have it in her conscience that she held him back for yet another week when he's insisting on leaving. And the experts called it and said, the comment that people make, as much as they think is a passing comment, does have an impact, does affect, does hurt people, and can change things, in which it has done. They felt Harrison meddled in a very dangerous way, and he knew exactly what he was doing because he knew the relationship was sort of hanging by a thread. And yeah, it was sad to see them go, but I guess eventually, I don't think they had that much of a chemistry. I don't think the relationship would have survived the experiment or survived post-experiment or post the production of this show. And so I guess better late than never. That's exactly what happened. Yes, so I guess we'll have to say bye to Jessie and Claire. I hope the both of you find a peace that you both deserve. And with that, we call it a night tonight on episode 25. There's a brand new week, and I hear there's going to be a couple swap. I don't know how this is going to be. It's pretty much the first for this particular show where couples are being swapped left, right, and center. We're going to uncover that as it unfolds tomorrow night. Until then, guys, stay safe and stay focused. Talk soon.